You probably think you know Young Guns. The Brat Pack rides horses, shoots guns, and looks cool doing it. But behind the swagger and the stylized violence was production shaped by chaos. Strange decisions and moments nobody was supposed to see. There's a superstar hiding in the final shootout who was never credited. Improvised gunfights nearly went wrong. Actors pushed for darker deaths. And pranks derailed serious scenes in ways you wouldn't believe. Here are the weird secrets about Young Guns you didn't know. Starting with a famous face you completely missed. Number 1. The superstar cameo nobody noticed. During the climactic shootout of the Mween House, bullets fly, windows shatter, and chaos erupts everywhere. But hidden in that mayhem is one of the biggest movie stars of the 1980s, Tom Cruise. He appears briefly, uncredited, and most viewers have never spotted him despite watching the film multiple times. Cruise wasn't originally part of the production at all. He simply showed up on set to visit his close friends Alios and Charlie Sheen during filming. When he arrived, the crew was deep into shooting the intense final battle sequence. Rather than sitting back and watching from the sidelines, Cruise was handed a period costume and thrown directly into the action as an unnamed extra. The cameo was never promoted, publicized, or even acknowledged by the studio. No press releases announce his appearance, and Cruise's name doesn't show up anywhere in the credits. For years, only cast and crew members who worked on the film knew he was actually there. It remained an inside secret pass among those in the know. It's the kind of hidden detail that rewards careful rewatching. A genuine A-lister buried in the smoky background of one of the decade's most iconic Western shootouts, hiding in plain sight. Number 2. Gunfights filmed without a plan. The shootouts in this film have a raw, unpredictable energy that feels completely intentional. Bullets seem to come from every direction at once. Actors scramble and react with genuine urgency and fear, but that chaos wasn't carefully choreographed at all. It was a result of a deliberate creative choice to throw out the traditional rule book entirely. Director Christopher Kane wanted the gunfights to feel dangerous and instinctive rather than polished and staged. Instead of meticulously mapping out every movement, camera angle, and reaction shot, he encouraged the actors to respond naturally to the mayhem around them. They weren't always told exactly when shots would fire or precisely where other actors would move. The result was genuine surprise and confusion captured directly on camera. This unconventional approach carried real risks on set. Without precise choreography, the margin for error shrank dramatically. Blank rounds still produced dangerous muzzle flash, hot gases, and flying debris. But Kane believed the trade-off was worth it. The raw authenticity you feel watching those chaotic scenes comes directly from actors who genuinely didn't know what was coming next. Number 3. An actor requested a dirtier death. When Dirty Steve Stevens meets his end in the film, it's not a clean or heroic exit by any measure. The death is ugly, unsettling, and lingers uncomfortably in a way most Western demises simply don't. That disturbing quality is exactly what Dermot Moran fought for during production. Moran felt strongly that his character deserved something raw and genuinely uncomfortable to watch. Dirty Steve wasn't a noble gunslinger riding into the sunset. He was a scrappy, morally questionable outlaw with few redeeming qualities. A dignified, romanticized death simply wouldn't fit the character he built. So Maroney approached the filmmakers directly with specific suggestions to make the moment more visceral and harder to watch. The crew collaborated closely with Maroney to execute his darker vision using practical effects. The result is a death scene that stands out precisely because it refuses to romanticize the violence. While other characters receive dramatic final moments with meaningful last words, Dirty Steve's end feels abrupt and harsh. It's a testament to how actor-driven input can push scenes beyond what the script originally imagined. Number 4. He accidentally blew himself up. Practical effects in the 1980s required absolute precision, perfect timing, and honestly, a little bit of luck. Blood squibs, small explosive charges carefully hidden under clothing to simulate bullet impacts, were standard tools of the trade. but they were also notoriously unpredictable and temperamental. Kiefer Sutherland learned that lesson the hard way during production. During preparation for one scene, Sutherland accidentally triggered his squibs before cameras were even rolling. The small charges detonated prematurely with a loud pop, sending streams of fake blood splattering everywhere and completely ruining the carefully prepared effect. The entire crew had to stop filming immediately, clean up the mess, reset all the charges from scratch, and start the painstaking process over again. It was a costly mistake that ate up significant shooting time. Resetting practical blood effects wasn't quick. Each squib had to be reloaded, positioned correctly, wired properly, and tested before filming could resume. The incident served as a vivid reminder of how fragile these analog techniques really were. One wrong move and hours of preparation could vanish in a messy instant. Number 5. A fart ruined a serious scene. Even on the most intense and dramatic film sets, juvenile humor somehow always finds a way to break through. During the shooting of one particularly tense and emotional scene, someone on set paused gas loudly enough to completely derail the entire take. What followed was exactly what you'd expect from a group of young actors barely out of their 20s. The cast simply couldn't hold it together no matter how hard they tried. Laughter spread contagiously across the set like wildfire, and maintaining any semblance of the serious tone became absolutely impossible. Take after take fell apart as actors kept breaking character the moment they made eye contact with each other. Even the more experienced crew members struggled to keep straight faces. It's the kind of moment that never makes it into polished behind-the-scenes documentaries, but becomes legendary among those who were actually there. The contrast between the film's gritty, violent tone and grown men giggling like teenagers captures something essential about film. No matter how serious the material, sometimes the most human moments win out. Number 6. The hot tub was filmed in freezing cold. One of the film's more relaxed moments shows the regulators unwinding together in a steaming hot tub, joking and bonding like old friends. It looks comfortable, warm, and leisurely on screen. Behind the camera, the reality was a complete opposite. The cast was absolutely miserable during the entire shoot. Filming took place during harsh winter conditions in New Mexico, where temperatures dropped dramatically once the sun went down. The production had to constantly work to keep the water warm enough to produce visible steam while the actors shivered between takes. Every time cameras stopped rolling, the cast would scramble to grab towels and blankets before hypothermia set in. The crew pumped hot water continuously to maintain the illusion. What appears on screen as a carefree moment of male bonding was actually an endurance test for everyone involved. The actors had to look relaxed and comfortable while fighting off the cold, and their breath would sometimes fog in the frigid air just out of frame. It's a perfect example of how movie magic can completely transform suffering into something that looks effortless. That cozy scene required genuine physical toughness to pull off convincingly. Number 7. The scene with peyote use none. The infamous peyote sequence is one of the most memorable and visually striking moments in the entire film. The regulators experience vivid hallucinations. The camera work becomes disorienting, and reality seems to melt away completely. But despite how convincing the scene looks, no actual substances of any kind were involved during filming. The actors consumed nothing more exotic than water and vitamin supplements during the shoot. Everything else was pure performance combined with clever visual techniques. The hallucinatory effects were achieved through creative camera angles, unusual lighting setups, and smart editing choices. In post-production, the actors simply had to imagine their altered states and sell the experience through their reactions. It's a testament to both the performers and the filmmakers that the scene works as well as it does. Without any chemical assistance whatsoever, the cast had to portray a completely convincing altered state of consciousness. The disorientation and strained behavior all came from careful preparation and committed acting. What feels like a genuinely trippy cinematic experience was manufactured entirely through old-fashioned Hollywood craftsmanship and imagination.